Okay, so I just finished the Descent DLC, and I have some stuff I'd like to say about it. First, I want to talk about the things I enjoyed about the DLC, and then I'll get to some of my negatives, and then some overall opinions and thoughts I had on the story. Alright, the biggest thing I liked was finding hidden secrets in the deep roads and the abyss. Learning more about the memories and the Titan was great, but what I liked the most was finding the notes about the Forgotten War. I really want to learn more about the Scaled Ones and what truly happened down there, but it's going to take a lot of time to come up with a plausible theory and strong evidence. The other thing I really liked was the Nugget King. I know it was just a silly extra they threw in there, but I just found it really fun. Aside from the nugs themselves, I also liked how the bridge just appeared under you once you stepped on it. I actually fell by accident, and I was quite pleasantly surprised when I was caught by the bridge. But something else about the main quest I really enjoyed was when you take the elevator down to the abyss and it's all pitch black, and I don't know, it just had me on the edge of my seat, wondering who was down there, what the Titan was, and what sort of secrets I would discover. Actually, I really just enjoyed the environments as a whole. I thought they were amazingly well designed, and I didn't I didn't really appreciate so many different branches of the tunnels because I was constantly afraid I was going to miss some loot or a codex entry. But I'm talking about the actual appearance of the place. The textures, the lighting, and especially the wellspring I thought was beautiful. Lastly, the characters of Ren and Valta I thought were really interesting. I loved their relationship, and individually I liked learning more about them and their history. I wish there was more of it, but I don't know what more there could have actually been, so I have no complaints. Okay, so there were a few things about the Descent that bothered me. First and foremost, the fights went on way too long. It wasn't difficult. I loaded my highest level character, who was decked out with upgrades and stuff, so I was all but invincible. But all my companions kept dying, and the enemies just wouldn't die. For the most part, I was never really worried about losing a fight. I would just sit there attacking the enemies for minutes at a time, and I flat out found it annoying. The other big thing I didn't like was the ending. I loved the environment in the Wellspring. I thought it was gorgeous and very, very well designed. What I didn't love was I still don't understand what the Titans are. They imply there's more than one, and they say Lyrium is the blood, and they can communicate with the Dwarves, but what? I don't understand. I'm not saying I didn't like the Titan or the idea of them, because I do think they're really cool. I just don't appreciate how I didn't really get a clear answer on what they are. Are they tectonic plates? That would make the most sense, sort of. But they still don't explain what the purpose of the Titans are. I read the codex entries and everything, but they didn't really clear it up too much. Just what Shaper Valta was doing with her new powers, which, again, I don't understand what they were. What does she do now? What is she now? I feel like these are questions I'm meant to ask, but I thought I was supposed to learn secrets down there, which I didn't do much of. I don't want this to come off as me bashing the DLC or making it seem like I didn't like it, because I thought it was great, and it gives me a lot more stuff to think about, which is a huge plus for me. I just didn't enjoy the payoff to the build-up. It reminds me of Leviathan for Mass Effect 3. Finding clues and piecing together the story is something I really, really enjoy, and the ending of Leviathan gave me some satisfying answers to the questions I had been asking throughout the whole thing. The Descent just didn't really explain anything. Maybe I'm off base, and the rest of you understood it just fine. I'm just letting you know how I felt playing it. Okay, final thoughts. I loved the scenery of the Descent. I thought it was very well designed. I wasn't a fan of the maze-like patterns, but I guess that's kind of the point of the ruins and caves, so I can't really fault anyone for that. I loved finding mysteries and secrets, but I didn't love the half answers I got at the end. Combat was even more annoying than usual, but the characters were very interesting, and the desire to find more answers made it all worth it, despite not actually getting any of the answers I was looking for. There are still a lot of unanswered questions and things that don't make sense, and I really want to talk about them, but just like the scaled ones, it's gonna take some time to create a strong theory. Before I sign off here, I want to direct you guys to a channel I like called Girl Tries Games. She makes the same sort of videos I do, and I highly recommend checking them out if you haven't already. I like to consider myself kind of a Dragon Age aficionado, whereas she's more like a Dragon Age archaeologist. I can't compete with that. So if you haven't seen her channel yet and you love Dragon Age, I absolutely think you should go check her out. And while I'm on the topic of channels I enjoy, I highly recommend two others. The first is called Fluffy Ninja Llama, who has graciously lended video footage for this episode, and the next is called Reina DCD. I often go to both of these channels to see things I didn't necessarily get to see myself in-game, or just to see certain things again, so I'll leave links to all these channels in the description. Thank you so much for watching, everyone. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe, and leave comments. I'm always looking for feedback and ways to improve the show. And if you guys have any theories of your own, or just ones you'd like to see covered, I would love to read about them. That's it for now, guys. Thank you again for watching, and remember, Tale Nadas.